Hey everybody, welcome over to the channel. We're gonna have a conversation with Shane, and you guys will get to hear what he's got going on with his races. If you wonder who he is running the Mini Moto Alliance Facebook group, and you can see I'm gonna put a link over here somewhere in the video. Is gonna appear somewhere, but go over there. It's an awesome community for minis. It's a great community for all the minis in Southern California and Northern California to converge. There's a lot of good people with a lot of good advice, and right now he's back with hosting some unofficial mini races at Apex Kart Track. So check out the link over here so you can stay in tune and see when the next race is going to be. It's more for fun. They're not official, they're not certified, but they're like fun races that people can come in, and they'll be divided in different groups. You guys will see the video when we post it later, how it's organized, but it's a great place to go and test your skills and race with people on the mini kart track. We're gonna go this Saturday, October 22nd. So if you happen to catch this video and see it, we'll see you there. Come and see him, say what's up. Come say what's up to everybody, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Hey Shane.
How's it going?
Hey man, how you doing?
Good.
No man, well, nice to meet you first and foremost, and I'm just I ride minis too, and obviously I love what you're doing over there, and I just wanted to get a moment to talk to you and see what you're up to and what you're doing and what you got going on. I know you've been doing this since 2011, and I would love to help you promote with promote your channel and whatnot.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. So I started Mini Moto Alliance. I officially started hosting fun races back in 2011. I started the idea of it in 2010. So the entire goal was just simply to grow the grids and help racers that wanted to find out where the next events were, what minis to buy, what to build, what parts to use, and where to go. That's the whole purpose behind Mini Moto Alliance. Just a resource and an opportunity to help feed the grids. The fun races we host, I volunteer for these events. I do that both to go out and help support local tracks, specifically Apex Kart and Perris Lake. I've known the owners of that track for a long time now, and I do everything I can to try to get some interest driven over there. When we host our events, we usually have a packed house, just a little way to help keep attendance up, make sure that they keep the place open. We need more kart tracks, more road racing tracks in this county.
Yeah,
so it's helpful to have it. We've been racing in the mini scene since 2010. We've done the 24-hour race consistently throughout the years. And my wife and I, we started Mini Moto Alliance as an actual small business just to have the tax ID for when we hosted our endurance races,
right,
which we used to do frequently. I stepped back from hosting the endurance races when UMRA started. Our friends that started that series wanted to host a championship and include some endurance racing, and I really didn't want to compete with my own friends, so we've kind of put that on the shelf.
Yeah.
But they've gotten older, they all have families and other things that they're working on, and I believe they're going to have a couple of smaller endurance races next year, but mostly they will only have the 24, which is something that I love to compete in.
Yeah.
And I've already spoken with them at the last 24-hour race that we did, and they are on board with supporting Serge and Martine's two-wheel track day mini series. And so that's the purpose behind the fun race that's coming up. It's just another one. I hosted one, I believe, back in early September. This will be the second one this year. It's just another opportunity to help promote for Serge and Martine. They have a thriving business with the regular track days at the full-size track, but now they want to really get the mini scene going. And all of this just comes back to trying to get the kids more seat time that want to go pro. They can race with their family, they can race with other adults. Seat time is important. We can't possibly hold a torch to the amount of seat time the Europeans get, but the best we could do is try to help the local kids get those opportunities. And we also try to pull street riders out of the canyons to try to keep them from racing in the canyons.
Yeah.
We like to see if we can convince them to come and race on the really, really, really cheap. We typically like to bring out extra minis to see if they'll sit on them and try them, go do some laps.
Yeah.
It's rare that you'll put anybody on a mini and let them go around the track and have them come back and not have a smile on their face. So
I'm guilty of that one. I was one of those guys a long time ago.
Right. And, I rode in the canyons, and did irresponsible things in the canyons for many years. It was a Sunday religion we did. We used to get up, meet a whole bunch of people in Santiago, and we'd go out and ride in the canyons. And
Yeah.
I got tired of seeing crashes and people getting in trouble, and I started doing the mini racing specifically because of that. I needed to stop myself, and then I was going to start racing the full-size bikes. I started racing the full-size bikes 2012, and I've used the minis as just a cross training. So I still have my license at CVMA. I have a new bike I plan to go race again very soon here.
Yeah.
But the whole scene as a community, it's just great to keep the minis going and to keep finding new racers, get them on the bikes, and then if they want, they graduate, they move up to the bigger bikes, and if they don't, they can stick around and have a lot of fun with the rest of us on the weekends. And
it's a great thing that you got the Two Wheels track days and the guys connected as well. I go with them a lot to track and to the big track, so it's awesome to see them jump in the mini side of things. Or maybe I wasn't aware if they were there before, but it's awesome to see what you guys are doing. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I believe I actually met them through the minis at one of my events, and then I started to ride with them at the full-size track and race with them at CVMA. Then they started their own business, their own track day company. It's a pretty small, tight-knit community, so at some point, if you stay in it, you'll know just about everybody from this coastline till about halfway through the country.
I missed the last 24 hours. I think if you were there, I crashed at Apex. Unfortunately, had the dumbest crash ever, and I missed it. I was set to go there with one of the teams, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Me and my wife we met riding on the canyons, and we just sold our street bikes years ago, and we were done with the canyons and all of that. I agree with you 100%. And then when we tested the minis, it was through Soco Supermoto. It was a perfect bridge for in between big track days. What do you do in the middle to scratch the itch? And it's a perfect doses of a perfect solution.
That's a funny story because Brian Murray was not a fan of the minis, and we had quite a bit of fun back and forth, and he was seeing the interest in them, and I got him into it, and he bought my Grom initially, and he had my Grom over there, and that was a hit. And then he's transitioned to the TTR over time because it sticks with the theme. But it's funny to see him actually adopt minis into his fleet. It's great to talk to the guys.
Great, man.
Too.
If you want to become a better rider, by all means. I think I chatted with you before. I've been riding for a long time, but my best riding learning experiences or breakthroughs have been on kart track, whether it's with scooters back in Spain or whether it was here in California. I'm surprised that you and I haven't bumped into each other because I started riding more minis in the past 2 years, and I've been going to Apex quite a lot for the past 2 years, Apex or Adams. But you're right, the minis is where you go to learn. The minis is where you go to practice, and if you go down, it's not that bad, and it's just a great therapy and a learning tool to see how bikes should behave.
Well, my daughter has been one of the main reasons I was out of the scene for a while. So she's 3.5 now. She's just now getting to an age where I can have my playtime a little bit more.
Yeah,
doesn't have as much full-time attention. Thanks. Yeah, it's my first one, so I didn't want the distraction. So I dialed back the racing and the minis and the bikes for quite some time. Getting back into it now because I'll have a little more freedom to do so. And that's probably one of the main reasons, because I noticed that myself when I started coming back this year. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know anybody here. So when I host fun races, I actually volunteer. I'm not renting the track. I'm not charging people. When everybody shows up to Apex for a fun race, you're actually just paying the owners your regular entry fee to practice for the day. I do the races for free. People volunteer their time to come out. I just do it as my little way to give back and have some good karma. Maybe the next time I crash in a race, I won't get as hurt. It's just it's a paying it forward type thing that I do. So Mini Moto Alliance, I do have as a business to protect the little logo we've got and to just make sure we pay our taxes if we host any races. On the rare occasion, we do merchandise, but when we do, it's usually as affordable as we could possibly make it. It's really just a way that we like to give back to the community and try to help get new racers out to the grid. So that's really what I want it to be. I just want it to be a perfect resource for anybody in the racing scene and the mini scene, or new to racing, that wants to figure out where to go and how to get started and what bikes to build themselves, buy, whatever. A cheap, affordable, fun racing for the whole family. That's the main goal.
Man, from a rider's perspective, just knowing that you're putting these events out, I wanted to go. Vanessa hit me about it, and I was like, I'm in. And I shared it with my group chat of people. I've got a WhatsApp with like 30 riders,
Yeah.
and I think half of them are gonna show up too.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's exciting that you put this together because it's a cool. It's not CVMA, but it's like CVMA. The same feeling, the same emotions of going to track, getting ready for the net testing, and trying to make it easy and simple, but super fun. I'm gonna
Well,
bring
that's
my
what we brought that
150.
over to CVMA too. I guess it's changed now because I've had a small break. But initially with CVMA, it was racing, banging bars on small bikes and having fun. Everything from 250 to Formula Twins, and then
Yeah.
we'd spend a lot of time doing potlucks and barbecues in the pit like family. I like that vibe.
That's what we love the most, man. I used to get that a lot in Spain because in Spain there was a huge community for that. But when I moved to California, I started riding on the canyons, since '08. And
It's
then
very
in
standoffish.
2013, 14, I started going back to the track, sold the bikes, we have two 390 Cubs that we go with. That I have one ready for this year to race at CVMA, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, man. Yeah, we got a couple. I'll send you a couple pictures later.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna bring the one. I've got a 150 decked out too. I got it with the clip-ons, and I'm gonna bring it in case you want to give it to someone in this weekend too.
Yeah,
So
that'd be cool.
so
My
excited.
150 we raced the 24-hour. We ended up winning overall.
I
We won
saw.
overall. We got first. We got fastest lap thanks to Tiger. I brought a couple of heavy hitters for the team, but
I saw.
my bike's getting refreshed. I don't think it'll be there in time. My old KX65 that I built and sold to Hans King though, the Honey Badger will actually be there, and I guess he's put some upgrades on it. So if anything, if you've never ridden a KX65, have you ridden a KX65?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
My
that's still
wife wants one
my
really
absolute
bad.
favorite Mini.
I just happened to find it like that, and it was like it's. I love that thing. It's got the Mini Moto wheels too, and yeah, I love that thing. You'll see it when you get there.
What I love about the 65 is on my bigger bikes when I run them at Chuckwalla or Big Willow, like I had my Ducati I used to run out there.
Yeah,
Everything the big bike does at full speed, the little KX65 emulates at much lower speed. It's a
I
really fun
agree.
training tool because it
Yeah,
wants to buck you off. The slightest movement and it wants to buck you off. And it's
yeah,
exactly what a big bike feels like when it gets out of shape. So it's a great training tool.
yeah. I had an Ovale for a while, the GP2 when it came out. Brandon got me one when it just came out, and I did a whole like media thing about it.
Yeah, the
And
Ovalis are great.
I love that thing, dude. That was it would translate so well to the 150. It was a little bit more. You could
Yeah, and I think a lot of
supermoto it
us
a
do
little
that
bit.
too. I got a bad knee and I can't fold my leg all the way back on the right, so I can't do the
My
GP chassis
same,
bikes on most. Same
my
reason I can't ride the NSR 50 or a CR 125 or not CR, the RS 125. I can't fit myself onto the bike and not lose feeling in my foot, so I don't ride them.
dude, that's
I
what
love
happens
them
to
though.
me. That's what
Yeah,
happens to me. My
I
my
go
foot
numb.
goes numb. Yeah, my right foot goes numb, and I can't feel shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens to me. I love the bikes. They're weapons. They're amazing. I just can't
Yeah.
personally ride them.
Yeah, and also my right foot goes numb, and my left hand goes numb too. I don't know why, but the pinky starts to fall asleep, then the next one falls asleep, then the next one, and after like 20 minutes, like half the hand, I can't feel it.
Oh, I'm surprised you run clip-ons on the 150. I figured you probably do dirt bars. They're a lot more comfortable.
I tried flat bars, and then what I did is I lowered the forks, and I put
Yeah,
like the distance of the forks, the suspension. I put the clip-ons on the top of the forks, and I moved the head of the. I basically pushed the forks up,
yeah,
so they're like that much higher. So they're in between what clip-on would have been and what a flat bar would have been. It's kind of like a happy in between, so I can fit okay in the bike. And then my wife didn't like the clip-on so low. It was all weird for her. She trains on that too. And
yeah.
that
It
I
was.
just found the sweet spot where it won't fall asleep, basically, whatever my
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, we always set the bike up to do endurance racing, so I always have it really comfortable.
Yeah,
I might do a lower bar with the XR. My old XR 115 that I used for endurance for a lot of years
yeah.
is actually getting the turbo mounted to it. That one I might do flat
Okay.
bars or low bars once the turbo setup's done.
Nice.
I am planning to sprint race that. It's completely ridiculous. I'm well aware of how stupid it is to put a turbo on an
I
XR,
was gonna ask you, like, am I
I've
misunderstanding
learned.
here?
Well, no. So we built a motor. The 2021 24-hour race, I had my XR, full Takagawa motor. Something went wrong with the exhaust valve, and 16 hours in, I had to do a motor swap. So when it came time to refresh the motor, we did all this really heavy-duty stuff to the motor.
Yeah.
Custom intake, exhaust valves, crazy head work, crazy valve seats. And at some point, I learned that a Garrett GT06 existed, which is like the smallest turbo you could possibly get from Garrett.
Oh.
It has the Inconel impeller, and it works all the way down to a 100cc engine. They sell it in India on small diesel trucks. And so once I found that out, it's the size of a Coke can with the exhaust manifold. It's the size of a Coke can.
What?
So I found out, and I talked to my engine builder, and I said, hey, I really want to do something really crazy. What do you think? And he laughed, and he said, I've actually always wanted to do something really stupid to a small bike. And I said, well, you're my huckleberry, because I found out there's a turbo that's this tiny, and I showed him, and the impeller's like the size of a quarter.
I was gonna say it's gotta be like, yeah.
But it'll boost it. It sustains 1.7 bar of pressure without trouble, and it'll work all the way down to 100 cc. So the goal now is one atmosphere. I want to see if we can get one atmosphere out of it and actually get it to run. And it's fuel injection. He found a fuel injection kit for it, so it's got a little throttle body. He's gonna get the plenum made, and the piping's almost finished. Yeah. But I've been talking to the team that did a land speed record with an XR100 motor. They did 131 miles an hour on a supercharged nitrous XR build, and he's already given me the volume of the plenum I need for my setup. So we're going really silly with this, and the idea is we're going to take a very silly bike and we're going to take it very serious. And then I'm going to try to roll up. I'm going to roll up to a sprint race with that thing.
I was going to say, once you're almost there, when you want to, let me interview. Let me just go over there with the camera and just, if you want to, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
No. Yeah, it'll be funny. It's going to be
that particular topic.
It's one of those builds that's either going to go really well or really bad, really fast.
Kudos to that, man. I want to see how it ends. That's a crazy one.
It's going to be funny.
How's that going to feel, though? Because that's on that size, too. And
I just told James, I said, whatever we do, I just want it to make turbo noises, and I want to make it. I want it to sound really funny when it's going around the track. Yeah, that's going to be. So well, you'll see that bike once it's finished. Then I get it back, we'll run it, because I'm going to be running on E85, so I'll be putting a lot of fuel stops into my my sprint races.
No, well, awesome, man. Well, great to hear everything. Great to meet you finally, like talking to you. At least you know what I look like, at least.
Yeah. And, I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, man. I've got one of those little trailers. I'll bring the bike, and I'll bring a few cans of fuel just in case when people need, want to grab the bike and loop around and stuff.
I'll probably be there low key. I don't think I have to bring any bikes, and I'm not taking a bike with me unless Ryan O'Neill wants his Scrambler. I sold him. Then I might bring my truck. So if I don't have a brown F250, an older one, I might just have my wife's newer little Hyundai Tucson.
Yeah, no worries. We'll see you there. We'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
All right, perfect. All right, man. Well, good to meet you, and we'll catch you. I'll send you some photos of the bikes too. But I'll catch you on Saturday.
I appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye.